is good timing for a Bitcoin update. The price has just tanked. I was meant to record a video update earlier, but I got busy. So I was looking at the prices earlier and they were kind of holding steady. I was checking out the usual suspects like gold and silver. And when I came back to my office, I saw that everything is tanking. Bitcoin, stocks, gold. I think gold hit like 5,500 and now it's just over 5,000. And so, yeah, I don't really like to look at the news. So I'd imagine there's been some kind of news. I don't know, maybe to begin with the wars, because I looked at the VIX that had popped up as well. And yeah, I wouldn't say it's time to panic, but yeah, I mean, it's something like this is always in the cards. And this is where, at times like this, you need to zoom out and actually look at why you're investing. Are you trading? Are you investing? Because there is a difference. And so, yeah, I'm going to share my screen, go through the charts, and we can have a look what's happening, because this is always on the table. I had been talking about it for a while that, you know, the way the chart's set up, it could go either way, and a drop could be on the cards here, depending on the rest of the economy. And so, yeah, let me share my screen. Just quickly, I'm Harvinder. I've been making these video updates since 2022. I've been in Bitcoin since 2015. And so I know a little bit about what I'm talking about, I'd say. So let's quickly get into it and see what's happening here. Okay, so we've had some kind of retrace. When I just opened up the charts a minute ago, it was just on the floor here and it's continuing to fall. And, you know, I would say, look, this isn't that bad. I mean, last night I was just looking at the charts and I saw this rising channel. And normally this is kind of a bearish move, especially when we're in a downtrend. And then, yeah, when I wake up this morning, it had already broken through. And so it's not the end of the world, but you've got to zoom out and look at the rest of the markets. The Dixie has dropped a lot and it's probably having some kind of recovery, but that's not the main reason. I want to quickly look at this. Yeah, this isn't too bad. It's still around about this level, stablecoin dominance. Right, let's look at the rest of the markets, because, you know, it's not just crypto that's down, it's everything. And so let's have a look. We just had a look at the US dollar, the reverse repos. This is still on the floor, that's good. S&P 500. Yeah, this is always on the cards. You know, I had this resistance level drawn here. And so, you know, this isn't a bad move, I would say. It's just a bit of a retrace after a pullback, after hitting all-time highs, actually. You know, I don't think I mentioned that it broke the 7,000 level. And so, yeah, everything else is probably going to be following the same pattern. And this isn't a bad move. I know it's an ugly red candle, but it's still not too bad. Let's clean up this one a little bit. This is the Russell, because this is an important chart. It hit my level where, you know, it's still looking good, even though this is a pullback. And so, yeah, we're sitting on that support level. It could come back down to this level before going off again. UK economy doesn't seem to be affected as much. I think earlier today they hit an all-time high, and yeah, we've just retraced a bit. Now, the VIX is an interesting chart to look at. This is the volatility index. And if you look at that, that's spiked up. And when this spikes up, this just means that there's more volatility, there's more fear in the markets. And when this spikes up, you normally have some kind of crash, mini crash. I mean, if you look over here, back in November, October, all these times is when, you know, we had like some kind of crash. I remember April 2025, that was a big crash and it went up to 60. So it's only at 19 at the moment, and, you know, zooming out, it's not too bad. Right, now this is USM2, and I believe it has painted another candle. So yeah, this is on the up, and we've been waiting for this candle to paint for a while now, and it has painted another couple. So it's gone up a little bit, so that's good. But yeah, looking at everything else, it just looks, the problem with Bitcoin is, I mean, the annoying thing is everything's been going really well, but Bitcoin kind of has just been hanging out where it's been hanging out. It hasn't really been doing much, and that's what makes it frustrating. And this is kind of what happened with the rest of crypto last year. Bitcoin was doing really well, and alts weren't really doing anything. And when Bitcoin had a bit of a tumble, alts just, really didn't. Alts just tanked, and it was really annoying. And so for me, this is just a pullback, and it's a normal pullback. I mean, gold and silver have been ripping, so it has to. Like over here, run up and then a bit of a pullback, run up. I mean, we could have topped out, it's very possible. It's been a huge move. And so, yeah, looking at this, I wouldn't panic. Yeah, more bleeding might be on the table, but this is still, yeah, still okay, in my opinion. Like I said, I don't like to look at the news and see what's going on, but this is, yeah, it's not great. We're still in this range, and if you've been watching my videos, I said, look, if we hit these kind of levels, it's still good, and you do really have to zoom out and look at a bigger picture. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this channel, because this channel just has not been working. You know, I've redrawn it a few times, and you do have to get to the point where you're like, you know what, let's just get rid of it. And I would say this is still a good trend line to keep an eye on. We should draw another resistance trend line in light of this new information. So I'm going to draw another one here. So really, these are the levels that we need to be keeping an eye on. And I'm going to make this on red as well. I'll make it a bit fatter. Just so it's the same. I'll make it 4, same as the other one. And so you're really, you know, we could just be hanging around here for a while before breaking out. And that would mean my hope that we top out in a couple of months probably isn't going to play out. Let's go back to this chart, because this is an important one, because I've been saying over here, this has been some kind of noise. And really, we got to see which way Bitcoin breaks out of here. Like this black box, if it breaks out below this, then it's probably game over for now. And we probably have been in a bear market all this time. But if it suddenly retraces and everything bounces back, then there's a good chance that this is going to recover and break out to the upside. And so, yeah, we need to know what it's going to do from here, and then we can take it from there. And yeah, I know this isn't a great day, and it's quite a bit of a drop, especially in the markets in general. But yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see. But, you know, if you haven't sold, I wouldn't panic sell. This really is just normal market action, and we kind of just have to suck it up. I don't know why this coin pumps so much. Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for watching. I make these video updates every day. I'm going live tomorrow, so if you like this kind of stuff, subscribe. And yeah, I wouldn't be panicking. You know, with investing, your portfolio is going to go down from time to time, but if you hold the right coins, it will go up eventually.